Hello, Merry Christmas again. Now, that's the big and little Joker's wild, ace suicidal, king of hearts, back to being a jack when the queen gave me a royal flush when I gave her a Ten Commandment reminder, and became a king of the pawns, who crossed the enemy lines and then became a queen defending the king, till an opposing queen gave my bishop to rook when she said goodnight in the game of elimination. In addition, it is okay to add an O to God, I get good, but it's not so nice to do that to the Pope, as we got poop. I'd love to give him a piece of my mind, but I doubt he has comprehension left to comprehend me. And honestly, in his lack of comprehension, it's quite likely he'd call me a false prophet, should we meet. Yet he was chosen by man, I was chosen by God. Anyway, now I don't believe the science of Big Bang Theory, everything came out of nothing. At a minimum, the spiritual space was already there. We might have happened, what might have happened was God took all of the known mass of our universe and made a sphere and said, son, come here, I want you to watch this, and he zaps it with the bolt of lightning, and with the Big Bang, everything goes everywhere. And then he says, oops, I didn't do that exactly right, son. Now I can put it back together and show you how to do it right, or I can show you how to fix it. And it's quite obvious which one the son chose, and they are working on it. Still, better than science's Big Bang Theory. That would mean God failed at equality, having ran out of antimatter that would explain why there are so many things in the universe. Perhaps 14 billion years ago on the Sabbath, God had chili for lunch, and grandfather clock time, Freebird middle fingers, extended 12 o'clock high. At midnight, God lifts his right leg and lets one rip like a super volcano, Mother Earth fart, cheeks vibrating like a 10 on the Richter scale. And a noise shocks Mother, which sparks Spock logical, igniting the riot gas into a big bang. And they sang on the next Sabbath, when things had finally calmed down, and God said, let's rest. Now, poor Lucifer had been standing right behind him when this happened, and God hollers down into the black hole, hey, Lou, you all right down there? And he responds, yeah, Dad. And God says, we all what up here? Now, at the time, we had the sense to get out of there, and we remained beyond things in the outskirts of our own nothing-to-everything expanding space universe, that I blame the humans on this planet for causing the universe to expand at an accelerated rate of speed due to all of those people crying out, God, give us more space. Now, what the world is missing is nothing, and I'm it, as nobody wanted nothing, thinking it was non-existent as science had taught them. So I took it and hid it behind space just as transparent, and now nobody can take nothing from me. See, I've come to know nothing better than anyone I know, and should I teach you all I know about nothing and you're able to learn and comprehend it, we really don't mind if you go and tell the world how you learn nothing from us. As with nothing on a line scale, everything, its true opposite, you see, in defining the first middle point, moving to the right, to the first middle point, it becomes half of everything. And this is quite a life accomplishment. And then with nothing to the left, over here, where nothing moved to nothing moves to the next middle point again and again and again. Until you see absolutely no space between nothing and everything, whereas nothing become everything's equal. Where the best part of having nothing is having everything to look forward to. And where all material wealth is compared to nothing, well, at least I don't go unnoticed. In a world of everyone so busy doing something for someone else, busy doing something for someone else, that unless you take the time to help them, they are too busy for you. As when they said, go get a life, I went out front of the house on High Street and sat on our neighbor's wall watching the traffic go by for hours. Where it wasn't possible to get a life because nobody stopped. However, a few did wave as they passed me by, even smiled. Now, what if we took a space of space and removed it from a space of space without allowing any other space to enter that space or space we removed the space from? Have we created nothing like it, as not even space would be there? Or have we created a black hole, density at its finest looking class? Our science says that if something is moved, something must take its place. And with nothing there, everything is being drawn in. Or is it a center of gravity for a star, sun, planet, or moon, where most everything has already been drawn in? As I was told, ask and you shall receive. So back in 1980, I thought about making my first request for myself. And I wondered what would be the simplest request that I could make and gain the most. And I did. I went for the gusto, asking God for everything, expecting nothing in return. But then the room suddenly began to wide out. And like the Starship Enterprise goes into warp speed, we felt like we traveled very far, very fast, until we suddenly stopped dead in our tracks and it had become pitch black. As I had arrived on the outskirts of our expanding space universe, beyond the first ray of light from the Big Bang, I was floating in space, and in our turning around, we see where we'd come from, where there was this awesome view, most awesome view, everything in its simplest form, little starlight shining bright, filling the darkness with rainbow colors. I can still see it, leaving me wondering, was I just giving everything? And having everything wasn't everything, as I had no idea what to do with it except go on enjoying the view. And thinking this through, I decided that if I had just been given everything, that I'd already asked for enough in one day and decided that I would ask for nothing else. And then as suddenly as I left, I was back in my room, where I decided to let man fight over this planet, for their piece of the pie, Well, with owning the other 8 planets, I don't want Uranus. Do you want Uranus? I'm sorry, I don't mean to speak of Uranus this way. I shall keep Uranus. It's a catch-22 reality, no way to win a world reality, no way to escape a world reality. As in 93, you see, when we filed for Social Security, the country was complaining about the decay in our societal moral standards. And where my mother had taught me that it was wrong to sell a gift, well, all of my abilities are gifts from God, means that it's wrong to work for funny money, honey. And the grand illusion, grow up and face reality. As I'll admit that coins and bills are things, but the value is imagined. As can you imagine, you have been taught to imagine that money has value, but don't imagine any more than accepting you can't change it. And the moment you accept that you can't change it, you stop trying to change it, and the majority accepts it, and as long as such a majority rules, it's not going to change. But this doesn't mean I have to accept it, as I have accepted it. If I accepted it, then I become a part of the problem. Ignorance of the truth is no excuse. The United States of America's government has not a single legal document proving they ever bought the land from God, and therefore have never had the right to tax anybody for anything, anytime, anywhere. In God we trust. We must bust a gut and live free or die and believe in the miracle that we are still alive. As if they don't need me, why do they continue to feed me? As much as I hate money, I do accept donations and can be a good hypocrite spending it on whatever is felt as needed at the time. As I spent my life working for nothing, expecting nothing in return, and you can believe me, I have nothing to show for it. Merry Christmas.